Welcome back everyone to Showbiz India, and today it is indeed my pleasure and privilege to welcome the living legend Javed Akhtar Saab to Showbiz India and to Los Angeles. It's great to have you on.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, how are you enjoying my city, Los Angeles?
Oh, this is my second day, but obviously, I mean, one is always overwhelmed when you come to this city, the mecca of Hollywood movies. So obviously it is a matter of great privilege and excitement to be here. And now I'm going to watch the film, The Irishman, directed by my favorite director, and some of my favorite actors are there. So I suppose life will be richer within a few hours.
That's wonderful. Clearly your films is such a big integral part of your world. And I was reading about you. I was reading about the fact that Rajesh Khanna was the person who came to you and said that I want you to write this and made sure, and I'll make sure that you'll get the credit. Tell me that story. I thought that was so fascinating.
You know, like Shakespeare said that some are born great and some achieve greatness, and on some greatness is thirst upon. So I suppose that can be said about the hit films also. Sometimes hit films are thrust upon you. If we could help it, we wouldn't have written that film. But what happened that Rajesh Khanna had become a good friend. He had just taken off with the Aradhana and Do Raste. So the world had discovered him. And then some producer came from the south, gave him a huge signing amount and gave him a script. Now with that signing amount, Rajesh Khanna bought his house. So obviously he was not in position to return the money. And then when he read the script, in his words, that this script is good enough to end my career. So he came to us, he said, now I'm in a great dilemma. I cannot refuse this picture because I have already given the money, and it's a huge amount which obviously I cannot collect from anywhere else for my house. And I have read this script. It's, to put it very mildly, it is atrocious. But you have to help me. So, and do something about this script, and I promise you that I'll get you the credit and money. We had also just started a career. So we had done Andaz and Sita Aur Gita. So, not even Sita Aur Gita, sorry, it was only Andaz. So, we read the script, and I think he was right when he said it is atrocious. It was a good description. So, we said that it's really, I mean, deep trouble. What can we do about it? He said, do anything. So, all right. So, we made a compromise that you will have to accept that we will keep those 4 elephants that you have in your story and the hero, and we will change the rest of it. We will have all the gimmicks and antiques of the elephants, we will save that, but we will change every scene. He said, go ahead.
And for those who don't know, we're talking about Hathi Mere Sathi.
Yes. So, and the title of that film originally was Pyar Ki Duniya. Hathi Mere Sathi was given by us. So, we worked on the screenplay, and it's rather difficult to believe. Actually, it was going to be a remake of a Tamil picture where MGR had acted. This version was so different from the original version that this version, after becoming a super hit in Hindi, was made into Tamil again with the same actor.
Oh wow, that's an interesting coincidence.
You can imagine that how different it must be from the original.
So since then, your career span just
took
off.
So as a matter of fact, I mean, it was just Rajesh Khanna's pressure and because his helpless situation that made us do it. Otherwise, given half a chance, we wouldn't have done it. And it became such a huge hit.
Absolutely. And that went on to you working and getting, the first time ever, Salim Javed became a celebrated writers, dialogue writers and script writers. There was never celebrity writers before that.
We achieved that status with the next film. After this came Sita Aur Gita, and then our 4th film was the film which really brought us to people's attention and what you call center stage. That was Zanjeer. The Zanjeer was completely a script. It was not a remake. It was story, screenplay, dialogue, all was ours. Then it was made with an actor who was not a star at that time. And in spite of that, it became such a huge hit. and film industry discovered a new hero image, discovered a new superstar, and I think that particular film changed the basic morality of the protagonist in Hindi cinema.
Was that when The Angry Young Man was born?
That's right. That was the first film.
And then, of course, Sholay.
Yeah.
Now tell me about Sholay, like when you heard this story, like what was going through your minds at that point? Do you remember?
Sholay was never planned as a big film. It grew into a big film. It was basically Salim Saab's storyline, and we had one storyline and a complete script with comma full stop. And Mr. G.P. Sippy heard both the complete script and the idea, and this is his vision, and all due credit to him, that he said, no, don't forget about that complete script, you make this story, develop this. Then we sat together, we made into a complete screenplay. Obviously it went through a lot of changes. To begin with, these two boys from the army, and they were court-martialed and they were thrown out of the army. Then we made them criminals, and the army officer became the police officer, and so on. And then we gradually new characters like Basanti and Radha and Surma Bhopali and Jailer.
And Gabbar
Singh and his style, all of it came during the screenplay. And then I wrote the dialogue. So while we were doing it, we realized that it can be a star-studded film because there are so many important characters. It is not that we had decided to make a multi-starrer and we did this script. As the script grew, we realized that there are 5, 6, 7 very important roles.
Javed Saab, how do you make sure your character is developed? It's a full character developed in a film.
I think we never diluted our characters for any other purpose. We remained honest with them. And we did not make them do which they wouldn't have done. You know, every character has a personality, and he or she will do this and will not do that. Say this, will not say that. Behave this way, will not behave that way. What we do, that we make our characters do anything for our convenience, for the convenience of the narrative. So what happens, maybe you take the narrative forward, but at the cost of the integrity of the character. We never did it. If the hero is grim, all right, he will not sing a song. It sounds so ordinary today, but at that time when Rajesh Khanna was at peak period, when R.D. Burman and Lakshmikant Pyarelal were giving super hit albums after another, and music was one of the major guarantees of the success of the film, it was our audacity or maybe naivety that we were very young, so young people don't think much and they decide this is the right thing, that our hero will not sing a song.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that was unheard of at that time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, it's not a surprise at all that Zanjeer was rejected by almost every actor worth his salt. And that is how it reached Amitabh Bachchan.
And destiny just took over. Is there a difference when you write lyrics for a song as a composer as opposed to writing lyrics for obviously dialogues? How do you change your mindset? Is there a difference?
You can ask me, I think, let's take this question this way. Is there any difference between writing film lyrics and my own literary poetry, which is not for films? Yes, there is a difference. A lyric, more often than not, is written for a situation, not only for a situation, but to a tune. So the tune is made earlier, and then you are given a tune and a situation, and of course a deadline that you have to give this song before the 8th of November or whatever. So now you can't wait as a poet, wait for inspirations. You better get inspired and you do the work, because on the 8th it will be recorded. And they have taken the date of the singers and the recording theatre is booked and the musicians are coming. So that is a different ball game. I think a lyricist or a dialogue writer, they have one thing in common. In a way, they are latent actors. You know, when you are writing a dialogue, you are not writing what you feel. You are writing what this particular character will feel. The language, the metaphor, the style of talking, the simile that character will give is from the point of view of this character. What is the intellectual height of this character? What is the cultural background of this character? So you think like that, try to think. However successful or unsuccessful you may be, that is another topic. While you are writing a song, so whether it's a lullaby of a mother, or it's a street urchin song, or it's a farmer song that he's singing in his field, or it is a cabaret, or it's a song of teenagers. So every time your metaphor, your whole vocabulary should change, style should change, and you should put yourself in that mindset. So in a way, writing lyrics or writing dialogue is some kind of acting.
And now your prodigy, I can say, is doing the same. I'm a big fan of your son, Farhan Akhtar, for, again, he sang, he's directed, he's acted, and Zoya Akhtar, her film has just been India's nomination for the Oscars. Gully Boy was one of the finest films I've seen. What advice have you given them in their career?
I generally cannot think of any advice that has made them what they are. But what happens that if a child is grown in a particular atmosphere where the child sees that there is certain respect for literature, for art, for language, it goes in the child, or positive values, secularism, broad-mindedness, gender justice. You can't tell them that, because they don't do what you say, they do what you do.
You teach from example.
Yeah, and through some process of osmosis, it goes in them. Then they are, if they are intelligent, they are thinking people, then they improvise on it, and they become even better than what you were or what you are. So I think I can say it very proudly, and at the same time with humility, that I feel that my children are much better version of me, much better version.
And I joked with you earlier before the interview that I'd love to be a fly on the wall if you guys, or when you guys are having a meal together, whether it's dinner or lunch. If I were a fly on the wall, would you share with me?
Well, more often than not, you will be able to hear that what Farhan has liked the kebab or not, or Zoya's opinion about the biryani. So that will be as in-depth and as intellectual as that.
You know something, I had asked Shabana Azmi the same question, and she said exactly the same thing. Shabana ji said exactly, actually, our conversations on our dining table is all about food. We're very foodie people.
They are foodies.
Yeah.
I mean, Farhan lives at Pali Hill, Zoya has a big house at Bandstand, a bungalow, and obviously they have a big staff, they throw parties and whatever, they have a comfortable life. But I have no idea, whenever they visit me, they are hungry. And the moment they enter, they want food. Why? I don't know. I mean, there is some psychological reason, or only a psychiatrist can.
That's hilarious. You seem like a very jovial person, and of course you must be romantic. If I may ask you, what would be a poem you would say to Shabana ji? What would it be?
Actually, I have written a complete poem on her. It's in my second collection, that is Lava, and it's available. You must read that poem. The title of the poem is Shabana. But I have obviously, if somebody as important, as real and as impressive like Shabana is in your life, so somewhere she will reflect in your work. That's not possible that it won't happen.
You released your book in Italy, in Italian?
Yeah, in Italian. A couple of years back it was translated in French. And what we have done, my poems in Devanagari and Urdu in the end are there, and the translation of the poems also there. So it is in French, and it is in Latin, it is in English. English was done much earlier than that. And now soon you will have it in Portuguese also.
And you can get these on Amazon?
Oh yes, you can get it on Amazon.
What do you think are the 3 times in your life that you think that were profound and life-changing for you?
One was obviously, quite obvious, was that my birth, that was very important, and nothing would have happened without that. The second, perhaps my coming to Bombay was very important. And the third was my partnership with Salim. It continued for 11 years, and after 11 years we parted. But definitely that partnership gave a new direction to my life, as far as the career is concerned. In personal life, obviously, my marriage with Hani, which unfortunately couldn't continue, but ultimately these children are the result of that marriage. And then the most important on emotional front, that thing that happened was my relationship with Shabana.
Very beautifully said. We thank you for your time, and we look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Thank you.